Hello AMC fans and welcome to another edition of Across the AMC. I'm your host Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. We have another exciting show lined up today, including recaps from all fall sports, including games of the week for men's soccer, women's soccer, and volleyball. After those, we will take a look at the AMC Players of the Week and see if any of those athletes were named NAIA Players of the Week. Then we will take a look at NAIA Rankings that were released on Tuesday and Wednesday and end with an interview with Columbia College women's basketball player Skylar Beeson, who is a member of the American Midwest Conference Association of Student Athletes. Diving right in, we will take a look at the recap of the men's soccer game of the week. This week featured the Linwood Belleville Lynx hosting the Hannibal LaGrange Trojans. The Lynx received goals from Connor Woolahan and Milliam Heisa to knock off the Trojans 2-0. With the win, Linwood Belleville moves to 4-2 overall and 2-1 in the AMC. The Trojans fall to 2-1 in conference play and 4-1 overall. Other scores from around the conference: William Wood stays perfect in conference play with a 1-0 win over Lyon and a 3-2 double overtime win over Freed-Hardman. Columbia also remained undefeated in conference play with a win over Williams Baptist, which was 1-0 in overtime. Now, let's take a look at the updated AMC men's soccer standings. William Woods is at the top with 9 points, followed by Columbia and Linwood Belleville and Hannibal LaGrange, who are tied for second with 6 points each. Here's the rest of the week's conference matches, highlighted by Columbia at Lyon and William Woods at Hannibal LaGrange. We will take a quick break, and when we return, we will take a look at women's soccer. Welcome back from break. This is Across the AMC. I am Scott Barker, your host, also Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. Our next segment is women's soccer, as Harris-Stowe met Park Pirates in the AMC Women's Soccer Game of the Week. The Pirates were able to do something that no other team has done this season, and that is to defeat the Harris-Stowe Hornets. Lynn Vick-Sochiang scored twice for Park, and Kara Whittle and Maria Calvajo added a goal apiece. Let's take a look at conference scores from this past week. Columbia remained unbeaten in conference action as they defeated Williams Baptist 4-0 and Stevens 5-0. With the win against Stevens, the Cougars now have 100 wins in program history. With the 2 wins, the Cougars are tied atop the AMC women's soccer standings. Columbia and Linwood Belleville each have 9 points. Missouri Baptist is third with 7 points, and Lyon has 6 points for 4th place. Columbia at Lyon highlights the upcoming conference slate. The Scots are trying to keep pace with the Cougars in the conference standings and will host Columbia on Saturday. The third-ranked Columbia Cougars hosted Linwood Belleville Lady Lynx in the AMC Volleyball Game of the Week. The Cougars swept the Lady Lynx 3-0 to improve to 13-1 overall and 3-0 in the AMC. The Cougars also own a 9-game win streak, with 8 of those coming by a 3-0 sweep. Other conference scores from around the league: Columbia beat Williams Baptist and Freed-Hardman, Park beat Hannibal LaGrange, Missouri Baptist beat Lyon and CBC, all 3 teams remaining undefeated in conference play. Earlier this week, I sat down with William Woods head coach Ashley Nels, outside hitter Tori Wiley, and setter Remy Johnson. So, Coach, we'll start with you. You're on a 5-game win streak right now, 9-7 overall, 1-0 in the conference. What's changed to really ignite the team for that 5-game win streak?
I don't know if I can exactly pinpoint what has changed, but we have noticed the shift as well. The girls are starting to come together as a group and really play for each other and celebrate every point, and it's helping us grow as a team and as individuals, and we're starting to kind of last week's game or Monday's game against C of O was one of the first times this year that I thought that we really played well for an entire match.
Tori, we'll go to you now.
163 kills so far on the season, leads the team. You've had double-digit kills in 4 of the last 5 matches. What's led you to that recent success?
I would mostly say just my team. I have amazing setters on the court with me and amazing passers. You can't do it without the passing set, and then we have our passers telling us where to hit, what's open, things like that. So I really give all my credit to my passers and setters being able to give me the ball so I can put it down for them.
Remy, you have a team high 291 assists. You've had double-digit assist totals in all but 1 match so far this season, including 20 and 29 in the last 2 games, respectively. What's been going right those 2 games?
Honestly, just like the game flow. Like Coach said, we've been playing together as a team. I have hitters demanding the ball for me, and I can demand the tempo passes from my passers that we've been trying to get this whole season. And those specific games, we've really been focusing on those things. So it's made it possible for me to get that.
And Coach, Jessica Jensen, she's the defending AMC Women's Volleyball Defender of the Week. Can you inform us a little bit on her play and what she means to the team?
Yeah, Jess is a huge member of our team. She helps us tremendously in all of our matches. She's got this ability to get to every ball on the court. She kind of plays, she doesn't hold back at all. And her energy on the court, her fight, her mental and physical toughness makes her a major contender when we were talking about the DSs in this conference. We're glad to have her, and she's a tough kid.
Tori, playing with a new setter than what you've had in the last couple of years. Was there any type of major adjustment? I mean, what was different between the last couple of years compared to this year?
It's kind of different because the setter that we've had in previous years I also played with in high school. So it was nice to always have a connection, but I felt like it wasn't even a big deal not having our old setter back. We have 2 amazing setters that really demand the ball on the court, and I didn't think there was any other problems with having 2 setters come in. So no, I think they're both amazing.
So Remy, last year you got to play under one of the best setters in the AMC and the NAIA, Brittany Engelbrecht. What was one of the biggest things that you got to learn from her?
Leadership, for sure. I looked up to her at all times. Last year, she was really good at helping me. I didn't play very much last year, but everything that I did, and I could always communicate with her. And then from watching her from the sideline, she always kept her team in control. And if there was any sort of doubt that we weren't going to win the game, she reassured everyone with what she did, not just the setting, but how she talked to people. So I really looked up to her for that.
Cool. Coach, you have Lyon on Friday. That was a rematch of last year's AMC tournament quarterfinals. I believe you all won that in 4 sets. How are you going to keep your team focused? Because you know that Lyon's going to want revenge from last year.
Yeah, I don't know what it is, but there's always this kind of hidden rivalry between us and Lyon, too. So we've been talking about this match for a while, and the girls are excited about it. And, like I said earlier, what we've been doing to kind of build up this communication and this unity on the court, I think if we can put that into play against them, it should be a good night for us. And the girls are excited, and I'm excited, and I know Lyon's excited too, but, I've got faith that our girls have what it takes to get it done. Picking up where each other kind of are lacking that day. We talk a lot about how, not everybody's going to have their perfect night every night, and that it's their duty as a good teammate to be able to step in and pick up that slack if we notice that someone's struggling a little bit. And that's one of the things that I take pride in with these girls is their ability to see that happen quickly and to make that change. So yeah, our big focus has been that we are the we before me. Everybody is working together here, and we don't play as an individual anymore. So it's hard to pinpoint other people because even just against College of the Ozarks the other night, if you go back and look at our stats, it was so widespread. We didn't just have anybody that just was themselves. We had several players that did amazing things that we've never done before. Remy hit the ball better than she's ever hit the ball. It was great to see a whole group of kids come together to get that win, and that makes it that much more exciting and for me as a coach, and I think for the girls.
Thank you again to those three for joining us on the show. Now we'll take a quick look at the updated standings. Columbia sits at the top at 4-0, followed by Missouri Baptist at 2-0, and Park William Woods are tied for third at 1-0. Now let's take a look at the upcoming conference schedule. This weekend's schedule is highlighted by William Woods traveling to Lyon in a rematch of the 2017 AMC postseason tournament quarterfinals, where the Owls defeated the Scots in 4 sets. We will take a quick break, and when we return, we will look at what teams were in action for cross country. Welcome back to Across the AMC. I'm your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference. We'll run right along and take a look at which teams were in action for cross country. Williams Baptist, Hannibal LaGrange, Lindenwood Belleville, St. Louis Pharmacy, and Missouri Baptist all took part in the Missouri Southern Stampede. On the men's side, Lindenwood Belleville led the pack, finishing 11th, followed by Hannibal LaGrange finishing 13th. Missouri Baptist finished 20th, Williams Baptist finished 22nd, and St. Louis Pharmacy finished 24th. On the women's side, Missouri Baptist finished 6th, Hannibal LaGrange finished 11th, St. Louis Pharmacy with a 15th place finish, and Williams Baptist finished 20th. Lyon took part in the Rhodes College Invitational as the men finished 17th out of 21 and the women finished 17th out of 20. The final team in action this past week was the number 2 ranked Columbia College Cougars as they traveled to take part in the Bradley Open. The men finished 2nd out of 9 teams, and the women finished 3rd out of 8 scoring teams. Now we will take a look at the 4 teams that are in action this weekend. Williams Baptist, Central Baptist, and Freed-Hardman will all run at the Freed Speed Open, and Park will be taking part in the Doane Invitational. The 4th volleyball, men's soccer, and women's soccer weekly awards were announced on Monday, along with the 3rd weekly award for cross country and the 1st weekly award for men's and women's golf. For volleyball, Williams Baptist Audra Nailing was named Attacker of the Week. Defender Jessica Jensen from Williams Woods was named Defender of the Week, and Manuela Vargas from Columbia College was named Setter of the Week for the 2nd time this season. For men's soccer, William Woods' Alberto Petarch was named Defender of the Week, along with Hannibal LaGrange's Isaac Limcool, who was Offensive Player of the Week. For women's soccer, Molly Klein from Columbia College won her 2nd weekly award as the Offensive Player of the Week, and Olivia Wolfram from Lyon was named Defender of the Week. Columbia's Tyler Lawson and Pia Von Coots were named Men and Women's Cross Country Runners of the Week respectively. This week, the AMC announced the 1st Fall Weekly Award for men's and women's golf. On the men's side, Missouri Baptist Curtis Brokenbrough was named Men's Golfer of the Week, and William Woods' Maria Zerdowska was named Women's Golfer of the Week. We will take another break, and when we return, we will have an interview with AMC ASA Rev Skylar Beeson, who is a member of the Columbia College Cougars women's basketball team. Back to Across the AMC. I am your host, Scott Barker. As mentioned before the break, we will have an interview with AMC ASA Rep Skylar Beeson. Before we play that interview, here's a rundown of what the AMC Association of Student Athletes is. The AMC ASA is the conference's student athlete leadership group and provides a communication link between student athletes and the athletic administration of AMC members. The AMC ASA will be engaged in conference issues and programs such as the NAIA Champions of Character Initiative, serve as a sounding board for the conference administrators, and a voice for the student athletes. Each week we will have an interview with one representative from each of the AMC schools. This week we sat down with Skylar Beeson, a women's basketball player from Columbia College. Hello, we're here with Skylar from Columbia College, a member of the AMC ASA. Skylar, if you can start off just telling us a little bit about yourself.
Yep. I am a redshirt freshman here at Columbia College, and I play basketball. Right now I'm majoring in graphic design.
What made you choose Columbia College?
I think what really drew me to it was the family atmosphere, so I immediately felt a part of the whole college.
Are you from around here?
I'm from Southern Boone, so it's about 20 minutes away.
Really close.
Yeah.
Is there any fun fact about yourself?
I really like to eat ice cream. Most people recognize me as just like the tall ginger.
What made you want to get involved with your student organization here at Columbia College?
I think it'll be really cool to be a voice for the Cougars here and be able to relay that onto the conference level.
What's the biggest takeaway you want to get from the student group?
I want to be able to promote Columbia College to the AMC and then also gain leadership skills in the process.
After graduation, do you have any plans?
I'm really interested in science as well, so I think it'd be cool to do graphic design for a medical company.
Thank you again, Skylar. On Tuesday and Wednesday of this week, the NAIA released polls for men's soccer, women's soccer, volleyball, and men's and women's cross country. For volleyball, the AMC placed 3 teams in the top 8, including number 1 Park, number 3 Columbia, and number 8 Missouri Baptist. For men's soccer, Columbia came in at number 18, and William Woods is receiving votes. Women's soccer, Columbia ranks number 21 and is the lone team in the rankings. For cross country, the Cougars, who are number 2, are the only team ranked in the men's and women's polls. Fans, be sure to stay up to date with all news and scores from around the AMC by liking or following the AMC on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. Thanks again for watching this week's edition of Across the AMC. Until next week, I am your host, Scott Barker, Sports Information Director for the American Midwest Conference.